For a man who was elected unopposed in 2022 to a person who is now hated by his community as a whole. I want you to picture that. For a man who was elected unopposed, a man who did not have a competitor in the last election when he was going for Kikuyu's member of parliament. I'm speaking about none other than Kimani Ichungwa. To a man that now the same people who loved him, and even no one would stand against him in 2022 election, like he stood alone na sasa hata kukwako na kura huko ya MP. To a person who is now hated and being heckled by a whole community. How did we get here? How did this guy find himself in this situation? Before I go into the details and I go and explain a lot of things, are you new to this platform? If you are new to this platform, I would like you to take a second to subscribe and to hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a video, you will always be the first to watch. So take a second, subscribe, na kama kawaida, I'll be back. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed, and for the new subscribers, I don't know how I can repay you guys. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the return subscribers. You are the one who is helping this channel grow. So thank you so much. Now back to my video. It is sad and it is very unfortunate that for a man who had a very promising future in politics has turned out to be someone who now his own community do not want to hear him even utter a word in front of them. The reality that Kimani Ichungwa is now coming to terms with, it's very sad and it's very unfortunate. And to make it worse is that this is a man who was warned by his own people. There were even prophecy when people were warning him that the direction you are taking is not the right direction. Kimani Ichungwa was heckled in Nyandarua, somewhere in Olkalau, to a point whereby he couldn't speak. He had to cut short his speech and let the president continue. And this was done in front of none other than His Excellency President William Ruto. You know, the president is still doing his Mount Kenya tour. It is sad and it's very unfortunate. So I want you to watch this video, and then kama kawaida I'll come and give my analysis. I'll come and explain how did Kimani Ichungwa got here. And then after that we'll wrap it up. So watch this video na kama kawaida I'll be back.
Asante Mheshimiwa Rais. Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi akaita mbele hoi yeye hapa leo. Hawa watu wa Kwale, Mheshimiwa Rais, wamesema hii affordable housing iko hapa. Ile mara yote inajengwa hapo, ikiwekwa kablo ipewe hawa vijana wa affordable housing. Leo mwenene niye yotoragwo na aria tuga woko karao na Nyandarua yothe gutire mundu ukwenderio guoya na niye ndienderio guoya niguo kana tiguo mwathani amurathime. Asanteni sana.
Mheshimiwa Kimani Ichungwa, leader wa majority katika bunge la kitaifa.
Mheshimiwa Rais,
mimi akaita mbele hoi yeye hapa leo. Hawa watu wa Kwale, Mheshimiwa Rais, wamesema hii affordable housing iko hapa. Ile mara yote inajengwa hapo, ikiwekwa kablo ipewe hawa vijana wa affordable housing. Leo mwenene niye yotoragwo na aria tuga goko karao na Nyandarua yothe gutire mundu ukwenderio guoya na niye ndienderio guoya niguo kana tiguo mwathani amurathime. Asanteni sana. Haya. Nimesikia mambo yenu.
So I believe you have watched that video, and you can hear Kimani Ichungwa is not being given even a chance to utter a word. The crowd is very hostile to that man, Kimani Ichungwa. And there's open defiance towards him. So how comes for a man who was elected unopposed, for a man who was loved by his people, to a point whereby no one dared to challenge him in his own constituency in Kikuyu, to a point whereby the whole community hawataki kusikia story yake? This is not the first time he has been heckled. There was a time he was the same. So we want to analyze this. How did Kimani Ichungwa got himself here? Kimani Ichungwa got himself in this situation, number one, because he allowed to be used by William Ruto. In politics, if there is someone who has mastered the art of using people, it's none other than His Excellency President William Ruto. When it comes to politics, Kimani Ichungwa never factored his interest. He served the interest of William Ruto, and now it's costing him. Because this is the same man who pushed for the impeachment of Gachagua, and that is where everything broke loose for him. That is where now everything was done for him, the moment he pushed for the impeachment of Gachagua. This is a man who the president has used to remove Ndindi Nyoro from that position that he was holding. You could hear the excuses and the reasons that Kimani Ichungwa came up with to justify why they are removing Ndindi Nyoro from that position. This is a man who supported abduction openly and said that those children have not been abducted. They are somewhere in B&Bs wanakula kuku na minofu. And this thing angered a lot of Kenyans, especially Mount Kenya people, because some of the children that were abducted were from that region. And now her person who is supposed to be vocal and to speak for them is the same person saying that these people have abducted themselves. And he said that openly. So the loyalty that Kimani Ichungwa developed for the president has costed him and will cost him a lot of influence in Mount Kenya. And if you have never noticed, in Mount Kenya, if people abandon you, trust you me, you cannot regain that support back. It is next to impossible. So Kimani Ichungwa has orchestrated his removal from or influence from Mount Kenya politics. And this is a man who let power get so much into his head to a point whereby Kimani Ichungwa reached a point whereby he speaks with a lot of arrogance. You can hear even how he explained as to why when he was asked why Justin Muturi complained about abduction. You could hear how he explained about that scenario. This is a man who let power got into his head. And is living in a place whereby he thinks that he's going to hold that position of the majority leader for a very long time. And that is what is wrong with power. That when power gets into people's head, they always feel like they're gods. They always feel like they're untouchable. Kimani Ichungwa had so much potential of being a very strong leader in this country. In his first time as a member of parliament, this was a man who was very articulate. This was a man who could tackle issues and you feel like, yes, we have a leader here. But unfortunately, we don't know what happened to him. Since he started his relationship and his bromance with William Ruto, things started going south and going down, 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 down. Right now, his image is irredeemable. Like there is nowhere Kimani Ichungwa can go and people will embrace him. Nowhere. This is a man even is in his own constituency. Hawezi enda. His own constituency where people voted for him, he doesn't go there anymore. So the biggest mistake that he did was first to initiate and to orchestrate the impeachment of Gachagua. And I want to tell Kimani Ichungwa that you are being used and you will be dumped. And from the point whereby you will be dumped, it will be so hard for you to recover from that. You are being used and you can't see it that you are being used to do all the dirty politics of the president. You are being used to fight your own people. That is what you've been used for. At the end of the day, you forget that that is where you will go when all is done. So you never antagonize your people. As much as you feel you are influential and you have this position that you feel like is very influential, you never antagonize your people. Learn this from people like Akina Eludowalo. They knew they are in power, they had influence, but he has never tried to antagonize Raila in Nyanza. He has never tried to antagonize the Luos. You must know how you play your politics, knowing very well that there is life after that, ama there is other people, and the presidents will come and go, because that's the reality. The presidents will always come and go. So you must always put yourself in a position whereby you can be relevant no matter which regime comes to power. You will always be relevant. For someone who had so much potential, it is very sad when you see such leaders go down and down and down. A good example is someone like Ababu Namwamba. This was a person who was a leader. He had so much potential, but where is he now? He's just surviving merely by just disappointments by the president. This is a man who cannot even win an MCA seat in his own constituency in Budalangi. That is how sad and how unfortunate these things are. So imagine for a man who was elected and opposed in 2022 to a point whereby the man cannot win any seat, even an MCA seat in Kikuyu constituency. Imagine, that is how much things have changed. So the reality on the ground is, at the end of the day, when you do your politics, and this is a learning lesson to most people who are joining politics. Never be so comfortable when you are in power, or when you feel like you are close to power. Never be so comfortable. Always know that there is a time that power will shift, and when it shifts, it must always find you in a neutral position, or in a situation whereby haitaku affect in any way. Because this is how potential leaders waste their. This is how leaders who have so much potential waste their potential. And let me just speak, because there are so many leaders I see still doing the same blunder. People like Bob Owino. And I'll keep insisting. I know most of you are wondering. This idea that Babu Owino still wants to hang around Raila and still wants to play the ODM politics, this thing will finish Babu Owino completely. This is a man who has very serious potential. But he doesn't know how to calculate, how to sit back. The guy is smart, the guy is brilliant, but it feels like kuna hesabu fulani anashindwa kupiga. And that is being autonomous, yani ajisimamie na songe mbele. So Kimani Ichungwa, it is sad that now this is the new you. After so much, there was a time Kimani Ichungwa angekuwa anakuja kwa TV and he will be a version of Sifuna. This guy was articulate. This guy would speak about issues that are affecting this country until you feel like now this is a Kikuyu leader. This is a young man who has something. But right now, it is very unfortunate. The guy is a sycophant. The guy is just there to take blows for his boss. Not yeye mwenyewe hataki kujikinga. He's just taking blows for his boss, not watching his back. And now he has got a taste of his own medicine in Nyandarua. So the ground is very hostile to him. And it's very sad that we ought to get to here. So, what's the future for him? Honestly, I don't see any future in Kimani Ichungwa. This is something that is done and dusted for him. Unless I just hope that William Ruto will come back na atampatia ka position. But one thing I know with the president, he's going to dump him. As long as atajua this person is not useful to me, ataenda kumdump immediately. And that heckling may happen kwa ground. It has sent a very strong message to the president that this person is no longer useful. This person is no longer relevant. Haizi nisaidia even in this region. He cannot marshal any votes for me. So why would I keep him around? So he must they must even orchestrate his removal from majority leader. And that's it. You get. So it is sad But that is politics for you. In politics, always watch your back. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this issue of Kimani Ichungwa? What advice can you give him now that he has found himself in this mix? Naona bado anajipiga kifua that he can't be heckled, but that is politics for you. So tell us what you think. What do you think? What's the political future? What should he do? Can he reclaim that lost glory? What do you think? Share it in the comment section. But as always, insist, try as much as possible to remain respectful. Don't insult anyone. I really appreciate people who come to my comment section and comment, but do it in a respectful way, tukanani and everything. That is the way to go, guys. Tuendelee hivyo. Don't insult anyone. Don't take people's opinion too personal. Politics, it's not something you take it to the heart so serious. And a few people have sent me their contribution. I feel there's someone, I don't know, it's Joy or something, sent her contribution. I really appreciate you and everyone else who has sent their contribution. Anytime you send your contribution, I will always give you a shout out on this platform. I think anaitwa Joy Kahari or something. Something. I've not quite gotten the name, but I really appreciate the support you are giving. As I said and I repeat, this platform, we are trying to make it grow to a point whereby we are able to host quite a number of people. Isi kwetu ni mimi peke yangu, because I'm looking at us creating a platform whereby young people, vibrant people who want to now get into politics or want to discuss politics, they can have that safe space where they can come and discuss without having that feeling of that he will be insulted or something or anything like that. So that is what we are aiming at. So if you want to walk this journey with us, if you want to be part of this community, I'm very glad, I'm very happy you can join us. You can also join my WhatsApp as a membership, but at the same time you can also send your contribution to be part of this community. And as we go, we will always do this. My plan is also to get into doing live so that we can also bring a lot of people on board. So thank you guys, until next time, bye.